It seems play is making a comeback in primary classrooms everywhere, and I, for one, couldn't be happier. You know, I'm a big fan of executive function as the missing link to student achievement. Second edition is out. Play builds executive function. Executive function builds academic skills. I'll say it again. Play builds executive function. Executive function builds academic skills. Academic skills can't be built without executive function. Executive function is not built in classrooms where students are sitting quietly paying attention and listening to teachers. It's as simple as that. We design future-powered classrooms that are problem-based, experiential, socially immersive learning environments that accelerate learning and build significant executive function. The teachers are telling us in just 4 days, they see a significant difference in the students in terms of them taking responsibility, how they're able to follow rules, procedures, etc. Play, I think, got a bad reputation when the prevailing thought was that unless a teacher teaches a lesson, students will not learn. And we know that could not be farther from the truth. Students are learning all the time. We just have to capture that learning, curate that learning, create opportunities for that learning. Students were working with kinetic sand. That's the kind of sand that doesn't, get all over the place, doesn't stick to your fingers. And the idea was that they had to find objects within the sand. And so when you are digging through the sand, pulling out objects, you're building your fine motor coordination. And that's, of course, a big goal so that you can hold a pencil properly, hold a crayon, etc. But we crafted it deliberately to also build some math skills. So the pieces that we embedded, the objects, were all geometric shapes. And then we have geometric cards that have the names of all the geometric shapes on them. So as the students would go digging in the sand and they would find a circle, they would match it and be able to say circle. And they were learning these words. Even if they couldn't read the word, they knew the words. And one student, as long as one student in the group knew the word, all the students knew it. And if a student didn't know the word, they just found another student in the classroom who did. But the students were talking about the geometric shapes. And then they just decided to start counting them. How many did we find? And they start counting. Again, as long as one student can count, they all learn to count. And now the students are counting. There wasn't a math lesson where we're going to recite 1 to 5 over and over and over again. No. They were learning because they were involved in an experience where counting mattered. 3 students were working in the kitchen. Students love the kitchen. And one was nonverbal, one was English speaking, one was Spanish speaking. But the 3 of them were all engaging together, having a wonderful time. They all knew what they were doing, even in spite of perhaps a language barrier. And at one point, the English-speaking girl picked up the strawberry and said, fake strawberry, obviously, and said strawberry. And the Spanish-speaking boy said fresa. And then the girl said fresa. Now the students are learning the word strawberry and fresa and sharing it with one another. They know what they're talking about. This is how students learn. This is how your English language learners build their English skills quickly. This is how all students build executive function. And with executive function, they can learn academic skills. Without executive function, they're not going to learn academic skills. So let's build experiential, socially immersive, problem-based learning environments, shall we?